Hey everybody, it is Mr. Bellamy, and this week we are working on racket sports. And paddles, I guess, because I have a paddle here in my hand. But I'm always thinking, what if they don't have a paddle at home? I mean, I have all these tools at school that I use. I have our paddle, I have a racket that we go to, and then we go from a racket to a badminton net ball. So if you are on my school site, then you get to see those things and you get to see how to use them. Also, if you are at home and you don't have a tennis racket or even a racquetball racket, then you may not be able to do this activity. And that would make me sad. So, I'm here to show you real quick a way that you can make your own. So, all you need is if you have a cardboard box. So, I just cut the lid off or cut a piece of cardboard off. Doesn't have to be super big, doesn't have to be super small. What you're going to do with your cardboard is you are going to bend it in half. So the hardest part is trying to get that half spot. So bend it in half so you're halfway across. You can either take a marker or you can freehand do this. But you're going to basically draw kind of a paddle shape on it. You don't have to. You can keep it square if you want. You can go with a square shaped paddle if you don't like cutting out very much and just cut your handle right here off, or you can draw your shape like this. Now see, I want mine to be a cleaner look than this, but we're going to go ahead and cut it out. There's two ways to cut it out. If you have some good scissors and you can cut the whole shape out with it folded over, then that is great. But if you don't have really sharp scissors, then what you probably are going to do is what I'm going to do right here. So you're going to open it back up. You are going to cut. Then, now I'm not going to cut all the way on my fold. I'm not going to cut out one whole paddle. So I'm just going to cut out one side. And cut out the other side. And then I'm going to fold it over. Oops, probably should cut this end off. Then I'm going to fold it over. Now that gives me my area that I need to cut again. And the reason I'm folding this over is because if I tried to use this as just one piece, it's going to fold and it's going to buckle whenever I hit something, and I wouldn't be able to really use it as a paddle very well because it would just keep. If I tried to hit a ball or something like that, it's just going to bend and bend and bend, and that's not going to be much fun. So now what I would take is I would grab a few of my scraps that I cut off, and I'm going to put it right in here, right there where my handle is, kind of halfway up my handle and into the main part. And what that's going to do is that's going to help reinforce. It's going to make this a little stiffer, so that way it's not going to fold and buckle. So just take a couple pieces of cardboard there and put it in there, and then I'm going to use a stapler because you can either glue it there or you can staple. Now I'm not going to staple my handle, but I will staple all the way around. Oops, you know what I did do wrong. I don't want it to look all like, I don't want people to see my Amazon, so I'm going to turn it this way so that way I have a cleaner look on it and I can control what it's going to look like. So basically you're going to get to there, put in your handle enforcements. So that's going to stiffen that up right there. Put a staple in it, so you want it to be high enough that you're not going to smash your fingers when you hit with it, or you don't want your hand to be right there where that staple is going to be at. So there's going to be a rough edge there where that staple is. I would turn that so that you have the staple facing that way, and then I would just staple your edges to help hold your racket together. And when you get that done, just take some tape, and if it's big tape like this, you can put it along the edges. You're basically wanting to make sure that you have at least on one side where your staples are sticking through, that you have it taped up, so that way you're not going to catch one of those staples and cut yourself on it. So just do that all the way around. Now the good thing about having your tape go all the way around your racket compared to the very first one I made where I just taped my handle is, one, that tape's going to help protect you because this one here is a little rough, and two, that's going to give me a visual on being able to see where I'm hitting in the center, so it'll give me a contrast. So now we have something to hit. What if I don't have a ball? Because you're not going to want to use a tennis ball. A tennis ball is just going to fold this over and break it. So you don't want to do that. So you're not going to use a tennis ball. But what you can use is, if you have some old socks, take an old sock, or if you have like a really soft ball, like a ping pong ball, would work really well. And you can use that. And if you want to make the birdie like we have, and if you have just like a handkerchief, I made one using one of my colorful handkerchiefs. So if you have like a handkerchief, your dad has an old one that he doesn't want to use anymore, you can wrap that around your sock. If you don't have one, then I just took a grocery store baggie and I stuck the sock in that, twisted it up, and you can either tie it or put a piece of tape on that. Tie it, put a piece of tape on it, and now you have a little birdie that you can hit at your house, and you have your own little paddle sport. You can make one for you and your brother, sister, friend, and you can play a racket sport. You can do all the games that I just showed you in our last lesson. So that's how you can make your own racket if you don't have one at home. Thanks for playing along. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy, smile, be kind to everyone in your family, and go play.